Okay, welcome back to Love Ru Darkness. Anime review part 4. This one discussing the last 3 episodes of season 1 of the show. As you can see what I'm wearing a Bleach shirt. Yes, that's something quite different. Because, well, it's been a while since I wore a Bleach shirt. I mean, when was the last time I wore a Bleach shirt? Because usually what I'm wearing lately, My Hero Academia, or there's also my Naruto shirts, and of course a couple of shirts I have. But yeah, Bleach shirt, haven't worn one of these in a while. I just randomly put it out, and basically for me anyway, this is the first time in quite a while I put on this shirt, and I'm glad it still fits. Okay, moving on to the actual episodes themselves. A lot of character development in the first 2 episodes, and I do mean a lot of character development. Now, these episodes cover chapters 14 to 17, a one shot, and probably the rest of chapter 11. Yeah, 3 episodes to cover frickin' chapter 11. That's something to say at least. Yes. Now, the first 2 episodes focused on a brand new character named Teruju. Yes, we finally get a chance to see her. We get a little bit of exploration of Yami's. We get a flashback for Yami's backstory to where she was, well, created by her because she's based by her DNA, and it's pointed out by her, and of course, Rita points out, though, she's kind of, in a way, Yami's mother. Plus, also, she looks exactly like her. Even though that her original name, you mentioned here, her original name was Eve before it changed to Yami, the Golden Darkness. Where she would basically, they would have sort of a mother-daughter relationship for quite a while, until she disappeared one day. Well, it's later explained as she basically, they found out about her treating her like an actual child, then treating her like a weapon. The organization themselves was not very happy with it. That's actually said by Teruju, actually in episode 11, believe it or not. So, yeah, and also during the course of episode 10, like what happened at the end of happened in the previous episode where Yami and Rito still holding hands, the thing is worn off. And then he's like, so happy to be free of it. And then she knocks him out, turns her hair into a hammer. Then knock him unconscious because thinks he's free of her, but not really. And apparently he sleeps very soundly. And of course, Miki and Momo are just very curious exactly what's going on between the two of them. And apparently Stu didn't sleep. Yep. And then of course, I think it was halfway through this episode right here. Let me just be sure about that because yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, it was actually then basically half of the episode. The Rita gets a new homeroom teacher, and it's Teruju, the woman who Yami was just talking about. And and of course the guys, with the exception of Rito, are basically drooling all over her because she's hot. Yeah. Oh yeah, and she shows how clumsy she is, so she actually bumps her leg against the little uh, pupil there, and hits her head on the bottom of the chalkboard that's there. Then, of course, after Rito talks to the school nurse about it, he then basically runs into her and says, "You should talk to Yami." And says, "Oh, you're Rito Yuki. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being her." They do show in a flashback that of how she got here. Like, the school nurse just happened to find her on this abandoned planet. Like, somehow she found about this and she took her assistant with her off-world. I should point out that her assistant is a ghost possessing a sort of like a Gigai type body. And the school nurse is an alien. And this one is a human. Yeah, my personal guess is because she's an alien, she probably has a spaceship just lying around some place. We never see a spaceship in the series. I think you see once in the series, but and she finds her controversy. She explains that Yumi has been living not as an assassin anymore, but living. She gave up being an assassin, and she basically is living like normal life. Having a best friend, interact with Rito, being good friends with the Dukeling daughters. They do explain what happened to the organization themselves. Apparently, the galaxy was overthrown by their father, King the king himself, who actually does not make appearances. You see him briefly in this episode. Where here's the thing about this guy. The way they portray him here is not the actual version of what he looks like. They portray him as a guy who's a normal height stature, who looks like he's about 6 feet tall, despite the fact, appearance-wise, he looks like a freaking child. And yet this little kid is the father of Lala and her siblings. How they do mention him in the very next episode. He gets a brief mention. Yes, the king himself. But does not make a first appearance. If you're curious, though, when in the heck does the king of the basically Lost Spy make an appearance in the actual series? He actually doesn't show up until toward the very end of the series. Because he doesn't really show up at all. Yeah, but I don't think he shows up in the chapters that were adapted for the anime. No, he shows up much later. I'll discuss more when I get to the final. When it gets to the final OVA that comes out for the series. So, then of course that while they're talking, the perverted principal shows apparently strips out his underwear, and of course Reed, to be the kind gentleman he basically drags away the beautiful teacher, runs away, run, and just have run to Lala. And then of course we get another device in the series that she's used before, the hop device, where she basically hops to a close by location, but without their clothes. And then Tanjiro is like, "When do you take time to address me?" And of course he tries to explain, and then he gets hit the head by Yumi because they just happen to be there. And look up, Momo happened to come by with some fresh clothing for them. And Yumi finally has a brief conversation with Tanjiro where she doesn't hate her for abandoning her at all. Nope, she doesn't hate her. She's just very happy to see her. It's a very brief conversation, and of course the school nurse comforts her. I thought the scene was done really well. And of course we also have it where they have Reed talk to her later with Momo, where they give her like these special seeds, and of course they come into play later on, where you have her in the school class. So she mistakenly calls Kendra by the wrong name. She does politely try. She sort of in the way angrily corrects her, and it's like kind of hard to get all the students' names. So, and she's about to leave, and then Mia shows up, where look like she's about to talk to her. It's like, oh yeah, I want to talk to you too. It's like, really? And then she just walks up to her, and then Mr. Mo tries to stop her. Apparently her clothing gets shredded. Like, oh, you shredded my clothing. And then she shows off her outfit, which is, I should point out though about her outfit. It looks exactly like Yumi's outfit, except there's a lot more skin with this one. Where basically, it's kind of like a half shirt with sleeveless attire. Yep. And of course they get sort of tangled up thanks to a accident she does. But before I continue, I have to stop. Yes, I have to stop because dinner's ready. Yes, before I continue this particular thought talking about the series, I have to stop here. So, stay tuned for part 2, unexpectedly, of this particular part 4 soon. Okay? See you next video. Bye.